Fashion Insider friends, what is up? This is the Fashion Crimes podcast where I cover all things fashion, style, shopping, style inspiration, and interview incredible small business owners who are changing the fashion industry for the better. Yes, I'm the best friend you never knew you needed and the poster child for fashion over 40, and I mean way after 40. Say it with me, fashion and style are your friends, not your enemies. I'm Holly Cates, your favorite personal stylist, and let's keep it real, the only Holly you need to know. Turn it up, because I got a lot to say, and I am super stoked you're here. What's up, fashion besties? It's a new week here at the Fashion Crimes podcast, and I just want to welcome you personally from my heart to your ears. We've had a lot going on here with the Met Gala. I mean, that was episode 195. Hope you listened to that. As actually, it was one of my best reviews, as I literally could not stop talking about it. And episode 196 with George Collagen of Tom's Sons International Pleading. How fabulous was that interview? George is the best and is one of the last people in the original garment center in New York City, providing garment treatment services on the spot to designers like Kate, Rowan Schooler, Bachmai, and so many more. This actually is a dying art, what George and his team are doing, and we want to support him in any way we can. So please go and listen to that episode if you haven't done so already. The video is great as he shows examples of what types of treatments he offers to designers and the expertise he brings to every single piece. You'll learn all about pleating and how garments are made under his supervision over several generations of his family's business. What an incredible talent, and how lucky we are to have him as one of the newest fashion besties. Snaps to George. If you know someone in the fashion or beauty industry who should be interviewed by me, drop me a line and let me know. That would be most appreciated by me. Thank you very much. We are women supporting women. And men, women supporting men too, in this particular case. But more importantly, how have y'all been doing? I've had a couple of you write in this week and last week. Thank you so much for that. It just makes me so happy. It was great to have y'all asking questions and commenting about the past few episodes, starting with, but not limited to, the Met Gala. Thank you to Sarah and Melissa and Jennifer for writing in. Jennifer sent me a video of, I'm using air quotes here, how to style Crocs. And it was a woman holding a pair of yellow Crocs up to her outfit, and then it shows her throwing them out the window. I mean, that was my favorite. I don't know how my day could have gotten any better after that. Also, giving a huge thank you and shout out to Angie, who wrote me the sweetest DM about the closet clean-out episode with my mother-in-law, Elaine, which was episode 193. Please go back and listen to that episode if you haven't already. That was such a pleasure to create that one. Angie wrote in saying that she went through a similar time when she cleaned out her parents' house from 1967. I feel your pain, my friend. Also, shout out to Sirwee. She was asking for help with a dress code question for an event, which was so great that she wrote in asking questions about it because it tipped me off and got me thinking about the subject for today's episode. Our fashion bestie, Sherwee, she's been a very, very loyal listener for a long time. She wrote in and she was like, hey, I'm invited to a party where the dress code says aloha chic. Like, what does that mean? And truth be told, I'm not surprised that she was confused by this. So, super glad she hit me up and hit up the fashion hotline for answers. And here's what I say to that, people. If this is your party, okay, if you are the inviter, not the invitee, you have to make the dress code digestible and broken down enough for people to understand. Making up a dress code like this is going to literally open up the floodgates for people to ask you if they can wear this or that. And definitely you're going to get hit with people who are like, So, do I have to dress up or not? If I didn't know anything about fashion, or if I wasn't into clothes, or if I didn't dress up that much, or what have you, if I got invited to a party that said aloha chic as the dress code, I would have no idea what that meant either. So, you have to be as specific as possible. For example, even when you have a party and set the dress code for, let's just say, cocktail attire, people are still confused and have no idea what to do, let's be honest. And that's the most basic of the basic of dress codes here in America. And look, you certainly can't blame people for wanting to get it right. They want to follow the dress code. They want to dress correctly, and I love that journey for them. If they didn't care, they certainly wouldn't ask, or they wouldn't even come. So, to make a long story even longer, the takeaway here would be at the decision of my next party and theme, I would refrain as the inviter from getting cute or flowery with my words when wording the invitation about the dress code. Invitation and party planning lesson for anyone or any party people out there who like to have parties, myself included. You basically want people to understand that they either have to dress up or they don't. Those are the two buckets that you have to figure out first when you're inviting people to a party. Then, if you're like me and you want people to put in effort and you want people to look good and dress up, then you have to literally say something like this. And let's use the aloha chic as the example here. It's a Hawaiian themed party. Yay. Dress code, aloha chic, colon as in punctuation, Hawaiian shirts and sundresses. This gives clear direction and cuts out any of the confusion that could possibly occur. This says, women, please wear a tropical looking dress or ensemble and dress up. And men, wear a Hawaiian shirt and whatever you want to go with that. At least that's how I would interpret aloha chic. Another example, in sticking with the Hawaiian theme here, or come for a luau cookout. No shoes, no shirt, no problem. That means people can be casual and wear what they want and no one cares. Perfect. Or tropical cocktail. Sundresses, shorts, and jackets encouraged. This gives people clear direction and understanding of what the theme is of the party and how dressed up or dressed down they should be. Now, remember, just disclaimer, okay? People have no idea and don't want to show up dressed inappropriately or different than everyone else. So make it as clear as possible. And believe you me, people will still be confused and ask for more clarification. I actually spoke about this before in another episode. I have a client who had an African safari themed party. She literally said that on the invite, safari or African chic. I can't remember which one. But then after that, she said animal prints, khakis, and safari hats, welcome, or something to that effect. And in the invitation, she literally gave a little strip with a color palette. Now, this wasn't something that was, of course, a deal breaker to stick with that particular color palette for her party, but I will tell you, people really appreciated the direction. I mean, I thought I was bossy, but damn, I'm not trying to send out a color palette, but she did. And with the feedback that I got, people really appreciated it. And they loved it, and they showed up in theme, and her pictures look great. But you just can't get any more specific than that. I don't know how you could get any clearer. And I know for a fact that people still asked her who were still confused, but most people got it. The takeaway is be as clear as you can in the invite if you're having a dress code that is important to you at your specific party. At the holiday party we had for Jonathan's people, we had a holiday cocktail party here at our house in December. Duh, it was holiday. Duh, it's a party at night. And duh, it's at my house. That means look good. I put the dress code as quote unquote fabulous. Now, keep in mind, again, let's look at the facts. Holiday party in December at night, and I'm the hostess with the mostess. Okay. And then the dress code says fabulous. That's your clues right there that you need to look good. Okay. So, yes, of course, that means dress up and look fabulous. And I still got a lot of questions and concerns about it. I was like, damn, really? But people were already on edge because they knew they had to look good coming to a party at my house anyway. I get it. I understand. They wanted to be super sure what that meant. Fabulous is just what that means. Fabulous and over the top. In other words, dress up. Look better than you normally would. Get your hair and makeup done and look fancy. That's what that means. And if you don't know on what level to dress up, then please ask me. And believe me, they did, which was fine. But I'll call myself out. I could have been more specific. I really should have said in my defense, or their defense, sorry, dress code, fabulous, sequins and impractical clothing preferred. That's probably what I should have said. Anyway, everybody wore sequins. Everybody looked great. Everybody had, was holiday-ish and cocktail. So it worked out great. So when I got Cerise straight, she was like, oh my God, I'm so glad I asked. And disclaimer, it's okay if you don't know. I'm not shit shaming anybody here because they're asking for clarification. That is not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is trying to help people word their invitations better so people aren't as confused. That's all I'm saying. And if you don't know, you should ask. And P.S., I would like to point this out. If anyone like your husband, your wife, your partner, or best friend, or whoever you bring to a party, if they complain about dressing up or dressing in theme, which not everyone is comfortable with, is that I've learned, okay? Please leave them at home. I beg you, please. Why? I'll tell you why. Just because, listen, y'all got to match, okay? Just know this. If you are part of a couple, you both have to look in theme for said party. Sorry, not sorry. This is fashion law, okay? That's why it's better to go alone or better to go with friends who are feeling the vibe if your partner cannot be bothered. Just think about something like the Kentucky Derby. There is no one, and I mean no one, who shows up to the Kentucky Derby not dressed in theme. Or if they are not in theme, they're probably sitting next to the door or next to the trash can where no one can see them. Let's be honest. Comparing ourselves to who we used to be is not only counterproductive, but also cruel and negative self-talk. Learning what not to do and common fashion mistakes that people make will help you dress better and more flattering for your specific body type. Not sure what your body type is? Not a problem. This book, Stop Making These Fashion Mistakes, gives you the guidelines and principles you need to know to distinguish your body type and where you need the most support from your clothes. Stop Making These Fashion Mistakes by yours truly is still number one on Amazon under fashion and style. Is your image holding you back? This captivating and quick style guide can instantly help you break the cycle of feeling like you look just okay and good enough to feeling proportionate, empowered, and self-confident. I mean, who doesn't want that? It describes in detail the top fashion and style mistakes that people make without even knowing it. While learning these short style principles, you're soon going to understand why keeping your closet out of chaos, wearing the correct fitting undergarments, and dressing according to your lifestyle, age, and body type can really just do nothing but evolve your personal style. Getting dressed is something that should add joy and confidence to your everyday life, not bring you down. You too can have complete control over the message you're sending to the world by using style as a tool to get ahead in life. Now, not every day is going to be a home run. We know that. But you do have the option to opt in and dress the way that makes you feel like authentically you. This book is the first step in your style evolution to get unstuck. I can't think of a better way to make your outside match your inside. But stop making these fashion mistakes. Get your copy now on Amazon.com. Just type in Holly Katz book or stop making these fashion mistakes, and it's going to come up for you. It's about a 15-minute read. And it just makes a great gift, let's be honest. Shout out to anyone who has purchased the book so far and those who have bought copies for their friends. Loving that journey for you and your people. That makes me so happy. Also, thank you to all who wrote in and told me that they bought copies for themselves. And I just want to give a shout out and snaps. Shout out and snaps to Kim this week, my new bestie who bought my book and then sent me a pic. Yes. And loving those of you who bought the book for your family members. If you don't want to take the chance of making a fashion mistake, that's why you have to get the book. It will be the best gift you can give yourself ever or someone else. Now that we discussed the party dress code, always one of my favorite topics of conversation. But if you still have questions about dress code for other events like weddings, funerals, and other social gatherings, yes, of course, we can cover that in another episode. But I want you to make sure that you write into me with questions about that, okay? We're going to talk about that more later. However, what about dress code in the workplace, okay? The title of this episode is called The Dress Code Apocalypse because that's what I feel like it is now, a fucking apocalypse, okay? People are clueless more than ever. Are you back in the office? If you are, have you been seeing a lot of fashion crimes? I know people who have still not returned to the office, people who are hybrid, and people who are now required to come back to the office that are leaving their jobs. And I was going to say mandatorily back to the office. I'm not sure if that's a real word or not. I think it is. Some people are going back. Some people are looking for other jobs because they don't want to go back. If you are required to go back into the office or at least a few days per week, the question I have for you is the dress code in the workplace in 2024 outdated? Is this an outdated policy? I would say it depends on your industry. Now, have people simply given up on enforcing dress code issues when people are showing up to work with good work performance? As someone who leads a team, someone in upper management or in human resources, is this an issue for your people that actually do come in? To that end, what is your biggest pet peeve about your dress code or lack thereof in your specific workplace? I mean, do y'all not even have a dress code or people just showing up like whatever and nobody's there to say anything? The reason why I ask is because I came across this article about work dress code, and that coupled with the party dress code clarification, that's why we're talking about this week. Here's the title of the article by Jessica Roy of the Wall Street Journal. This is the title, okay? Air quotes. Your intern is wearing a corporate, quote unquote, crop top. Should you say something or join her? End quote. That is the title of the article. Your intern is wearing a corporate crop top. Should you say something or join her? And at the top of the page is Anne Hathaway in a pantsuit with a sequin crop top underneath on the red carpet. Okay, so she got a sequin crop top on with a jacket over it. Okay, fine. But yet, once again, just like the Met Gala episode, please go back and listen if you haven't already. The comments are OOC, out of control. That's why I want to talk about this article. When I was thinking of this at first, I wanted someone to interview to come on and argue with me about a crop top, but I changed my mind because I have read enough of the opposite opinion in the comments of this article to last me 100 years. I just would like all the fashion besties out there to know, if you don't know already. I myself have been wearing a crop top since I was 12 years old, and I continue to wear a crop top at age 50. Now, granted, the length of said crop top is different. However, it's still a top or sweater that comes right below my belly button and hits and grazes the top of the waistband of my skirt or pants or whatever I'm wearing. This really piqued my interest immensely. I was like, oh, this I got to hear. Or read in this case. So Jessica says, and I quote, "This loose definition of a shirt has inched its way into wardrobes of young office workers. That's no surprise in a post-pandemic world where 30% of women say their office attire is now, quote unquote, casual street clothes. according to a 2023 Gallup poll, unquote. In which I totally believe this because the dress code is way more lax than ever for this generation of American history, in my opinion. And now, of course, this is dependent on which industry you work in. Are you in creative? Are you on business? Are you meeting clients? Are you not meeting clients all day? Are you an engineer? What are you doing? Are you in finance, real estate, what have you? Now, the more conservative the business, I think, and I know pretty much the stricter the dress code will be. But the article then goes on to say that designers are picking up on this trend, like Amelia Wickstead and Allie O'Neill of Markarian. They said that it can make someone with a shorter torso look longer, or it can accentuate a person's waist, and it's a great way not to end up wrinkled by the end of the day since you aren't wearing a long shirt that can get bunched up when sitting for long periods of time, which is all true, okay, I'd like to say. And the number one reason why I tell you and my clients that shorter is better is because that's exactly what it does. It does accentuate your waist. Now, to shorten your jackets and to buy tops and sweaters that hit right at or below the waist is the right way to go, regardless of how you feel about your stomach and your waist. Wearing long, flowy tops with too much fabric, if you are thick around the middle, is indeed a fashion crime. Believe it or not, all of these small, intricate changes actually make you look taller and bring more attention to emphasize your waist, which is what you want. So if you're saying, I have a big stomach, I have a big waist, why would I bring attention to it? You're already doing that by trying to cover it up. When you wear a high-waisted item on the bottom and have a shirt that meets it correctly at the waistband, I swear on all that is holy in my wardrobe, you will look thinner if you wear a top that meets at the waistband instead of a schmata. This is a great wardrobe hack, and I suggest that people should take advantage of it. Even, again, if you think that you shouldn't be wearing a shirt like that, wearing a top that meets at the waistband, even if it's really right below the waistband, it really doesn't matter. It's going to make you look more shapely and curvy in all the right places. Jessica, our new friend of the Wall Street Journal, then goes on to say, cropped, not crass, combine waist-skimming shirts with office-friendly staples. I am loving this. It then goes on to give options to you of shorter tops, crop tops in this case, and work-friendly items to pair them with. Hallelujah is all I have to say. I have been dressing like this forever. I encourage people to dress like this who want to or feel comfortable with it. And it's hard to go back from that after you start really kind of defining your waist, whether with a belt or with a shorter top. It's hard for you to go back. Lucky for you, you can go to your Pinterest board this week and get some examples of items that are highly approved if you are so inclined to try this trend, which I highly recommend. Just note, this is in no way me telling you that a crop top is appropriate for every single person. Okay, it's not. But you have to try it at least and see if you like it, A, and B, and if this is something that can serve you well. If you're going to be pulling your shirt down all day, or if you're not going to be comfortable with it, or if you're like, I really can't get behind this, I'm happy to wear a shorter jacket, but I'm not going to wear a shorter shirt, try tucking your shirt in, okay? That is a great way to try this trend without actually getting a crop top. And if you think that you're big around the middle and you have no business tucking in your shirt, you're wrong. If you tuck in your shirt and you have a nice belt, it's going to make you look thinner. I promise you. Now, in some of the comments, most people were like, this is ridiculous. I mean, this in no way is ever going to be acceptable. It will never be appropriate. It's disrespectful to show up at work like this. It's distracting. And some dickhead even went so far as to say, don't complain if you're sexually harassed showing up to work like that. I mean, really, bitch? That's what I have to say to that. But some people were like, Oh, so now we can wear bikinis. If women can do this, why can't men show up to work in a crop top? Like, again, shit was out of control. Also, not everybody has the ability to understand how to pull off a look like this. So, yes, agreed. For the general public, I probably would say don't try it. But for those who like to try it, new styles, and maybe to see if this works for them in their specific workplace, go for it. Okay. This is something that I wear and I've worn ever since I've started my journey with fashion and clothes. You will never see me ever in an oversized, super long tunic type top. Hell to the no. That would be a fashion crime committed by me. And to quote the last section, a person who spoke out against this trend on TikTok said to stick to safer options for the office. But fashion besties, that's my question. Are you dressing too safe? I think most of the time, yes, people do. I think they dress on the air of being safe so they don't stick out or get noticed or look like they're trying too hard. That certainly goes with men too. People stick to what they know and they get it in 12 colors. That's my mission, is to get you to at least to try to get you out of your style comfort zone. Everybody needs a bossy friend like me. I'm just saying. In conclusion, I just want to thank our friend Jessica Roy of the Wall Street Journal for this perspective on corporate crop tops. My vote, hell to the yes. Okay. Again, depending on your office, dependent how strict the dress code is there. Some people can't wear open-toe shoes. Some people can't wear this. They can't wear a skirt, blah, blah, blah. If you're comfortable working in a place like that and your dress code is fine and you're not worried about it, great. But if you can kind of wear what you want to work, which I think a lot of people can now, try this out. What's the harm? I always have and will be an advocate on this style for people who can pull it off in a tasteful way. Okay, at the office or not at the office. I mean, could we have the same argument about tattoos? What if somebody has a tattoo on their neck or their face or their hands, places where you can't cover it up? In a corporate setting, is this appropriate? Again, it depends on who's running the business or what type of business it is. I know what I think, but what do you think? So make sure you let me know by dropping me a line and giving me your opinion, and I will for sure give you a shout out on the podcast next week because you know how much I love it when you guys write in. And thank you so much for listening this week and listening to the great crop top debate. You know, we all know where I stand. Where do you stand? We've got summer dressing coming up very soon. I'm going to talk about bathing suits again very soon. We'll talk about sandals and flip-flops. And I promise that if you try this trend, you better send me a picture or let me know how successful you were, how many compliments you got, and how skinny you feel, because I'm usually not wrong. I just want to say that. But anyway, that's besides the point. I hope you guys have a fabulous fashionable week, and I will see you next time. Bye.